Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Collins, State Representative, and I'm joined by Senator Fred Love. Today, the Governor laid out her State of the State address, sharing her perspective on how things are going and discussing her agenda for the upcoming legislative session. As Democrats, there were points in the Governor's speech, several points where we applauded in agreement. For example, we applaud the proposal to get rid of the grocery tax, something that many of us as Democrats have been advocating for vocally for years. At other moments in the speech, we remain silent in dissent. For example, sending hundreds of millions of dollars in public money to private schools and horseback riding trainers at the expense of public schools isn't something to brag about. It's something to fix. It's okay that we have differences with the governor. In fact, it's healthy. The legislative session is all about bringing different perspectives and experiences together to come up with the best ideas that will bring about a better Arkansas. As we kick off the session this week, Democrats will be working hard for a better Arkansas. Our vision is rooted in what you, the people of Arkansas, have told us matters to you. As Democrats, we are in the minority, but we will not shy away from our role as policymakers and advocates, giving voice to the needs and aspirations of the people of Arkansas. We'll do this by emphasizing people, policy, and pushback. At the center of everything we do is service to our constituents and the people of the state as a whole. Since the time of David Pryor, Democrats have put people first, and we still do. We'll also fight for good policy that makes life better for the people of Arkansas. That's why we laid out our Better Arkansas agenda this fall, focusing on 4 priority areas: mental health, maternal health, public education, and defending our democracy. We've been driving the conversation forward in these areas, and we will continue to do so. The governor only mentioned it briefly, but I'm glad she shares Democrats' interest in improving maternal health, where Arkansas ranks dead last among states. We'll be pressing to make sure that the governor pursues policies that will actually make a difference for mothers and families in the state. If she wants to take some of our proposals and make them her own, that's great. All that matters is that the good policy that we have proposed gets done. Finally, we'll be pushing back against harmful legislation that fails to put people first. Every session, nice-sounding ideas give way to harmful, extreme, culture war attacks on people in our state. Teachers, immigrants, minority groups, our neighbors and friends. They do not deserve our demonization. They deserve our support. And as Senator Love will discuss, our government has gotten disconnected from the people it's supposed to serve. We will call this out and demand better.
Arkansas's motto is regnant populace. The people rule. This is a motto we as Democrats live by. We aren't here to represent our party. We are here to represent our people, because that is what you deserve. You deserve better than hundreds of unanswered voicemails and no-shows at public meetings. You deserve to have sufficient notice when the government is making a huge decision that will impact your community, like building a prison without any public notice or public hearings with residents. You deserve a strong Freedom of Information Act to ensure government transparency and accountability. You deserve to know how your taxpayer dollars will be spent and trust that they won't be wasted. You deserve to know how Democrats secured new infrastructure, broadband, and rural healthcare projects. You deserve legislation that isn't rushed through, unlike what we saw with the LEARNS Act in the last session, which was passed into law days after being introduced. Now, I'm going to ask you something. Where is the legislation that goes along with the priorities the governor outlined today? Where are the bills? We cannot rush through legislation without a full discussion. Not again. And what was missing from the speech? Will we cut Medicaid to those who need it? Will we not extend Medicaid for 12-month postpartum care for Arkansas mothers? Will we even cut more taxes for those who are the wealthiest and leave disabled Arkansans on a list waiting for services? Arkansas deserves to know, and Arkansans deserve better. I want to give you one example the governor briefly spoke on today about the prison, and specifically the proposed prison in Franklin County. Here is what happened. Now this is what has happened thus far. First, we have been pushing state prisoners into county jails and then failing to reimburse counties for the full cost of keeping those additional prisoners. This pushes the state obligation onto local taxpayers, which is not right. Second, the selection of the Franklin County was made behind closed doors. It was sprung on the entire state with no notice, and now the local community is speaking out. The people of Franklin County don't want this prison. The people of Franklin County do not consider a prison an economic development plan. Finally, the site has lots of problems, from the lack of an available employment base to the lack of necessary utilities needed for operation. And the governor's staff knew about these problems, yet they failed to adequately address them, or in some cases, ignored them. And to top this off, we are still waiting for the final figure of the new facility. When we first started this project, it was supposed to be $300 million. And soon we were told it was $470 million. Now we're being told it may be at least 3 times that, close to $1.5 billion. Arkansans, we deserve better than this. Public safety is paramount to Democrats. But budgeting responsibly and being transparent through the process is also. Folks, people in this administration are not being straight with you. You should expect better. You deserve better. As Democrats, we will demand better. State government does not belong to any one party. It belongs to the people. We'll work with the governor where we agree, and we'll be vocal where we're not. We will shine a light on what's happening and show that a better Arkansas is one where everyone's voice is heard, and although we may disagree, we will have a debate on the merits of each and every bill, and Arkansans' voices are heard. Thank you. We are now open for questions.
What do you make of the governor's higher ed proposal for expanding access to higher education and emphasis on not having necessarily a bachelor's degree, but to get a licensing, and also the fact that she wants universities to have more power to fire teachers? Any reaction to that?
Of course, we haven't seen the proposal yet. I think that what is in the proposal will make a big difference. I think generally speaking, we're supportive of career training and technical training, but not at the expense of traditional higher education, which allows students across the state to pursue all sorts of careers and does a great job. So I think that the details matter quite a bit, and we'll look forward to seeing what's in the proposal when it comes out.
What about the firing of local professors? What do you think of that?
That seems like it may be a solution in search of a problem. Again, when we talk about these things, we need to have clear evidence that they're taking place. I'm not sure exactly what problem we're solving here. To create a pathway to fire professors for perceived woke nonsense. It seems like it invites a lot of politicizing of the profession, which is something that higher education has tried to avoid. So I think that's a risky proposition.
On some of your proposals, do you foresee, if they go against the governor's wishes, obviously you'll have to, do you foresee having some support when people cross the aisle with something that opposes the governor, which you've done?
Well, we propose things that we think will make a difference to the people of Arkansas, and now they're out there, and we look forward to seeing if there are people who want to work with us to get them done, the governor being one of them. So, I think that we could have common ground with the governor on some of the things we've put forward. If she believes that maternal health is a priority, we've got some maternal health ideas that we hope that she'll help us to get over the hump.
What can you do annually to make sure that stuff isn't shoved through, like you mentioned last time, and that there is room for a full discussion? What can you do to make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, we have limitations in what we can do, of course, but we will use our role in committees. We will use our role as people who can speak out on the floor. We have a vote like other members of the legislature, and if there are enough people that agree with us, we can slow things down. Obviously, the public has an important role to play too. I think when the public provides feedback that they want a more deliberate process, that will be heard, and whether it's acted on or not remains to be seen.
You all have already proposed legislation related to online safety, social media, things like that. That governor said that's a priority. I guess, as to your understanding, where do the differences or similarities between those two be?
Sure. Well, so we proposed two bills that are Arkansas versions of federal bills that have been stalled in Congress. They're bipartisan. They've passed in large, overwhelming majorities by at least one house of Congress. But as you know, it's difficult to get things all the way done in Congress. So I think that those should enjoy bipartisan support in Arkansas as well. What she's proposing is more narrowly limited, it sounds like, to cell phones in schools, and then there may be some adjustments to the law that we passed last session regarding social media. So slightly different in emphasis. But I do think, generally speaking, Democrats certainly share an interest in making sure that kids' mental health is protected. And so we're going to do what we can and what we believe is going to be helpful to move the needle forward on that. I think some of the proposals that she talked about probably would be helpful, and they may enjoy bipartisan support. We may support those. We'll have to see again what is specifically in the legislation that's proposed.
So one of the first things the governor said was that the economy is up, crime is down, and education is improving. Is that the case? Is that true?
As you know, a lot of these things have many different drivers. For example, crime is down, no question about it. However, the Protect Arkansas Act is not fully in effect. Most of the impact of the Protect Arkansas Act is not yet felt. So crime is down for some other reasons. We have national factors that affect the economy and crime as well. And so I think those are big drivers in both of those areas. As far as the proof that education is improving, I'd be interested to see it.
Circling back, what is your response to using medical marijuana funds to fund free breakfast in Arkansas?
I think that's very positive. I think we have obviously a huge hunger crisis in our state, particularly among kids. Anything we can do to help alleviate that is a good thing. Free breakfast and lunch is something that is proven to have a big impact on kids' educational achievement as well as their health. So I'm fully supportive of that. Summer EBT has been another good thing for the state. So I think we were pleased about those proposals.
Just back here, sorry. The governor mentioned that she, in her legislation process, she's cut taxes down about 3 times. In one of you guys' speech, it was talked about cutting it from the wealthy. So was there something that she didn't cut before to alleviate the pain for those for less income or help them out even more in groceries and other things in life for daily routine?
So when we cut the top income tax rate, the people who primarily benefit from that, given the way our tax structure is set up, are the wealthy. There are other ways that we can provide tax relief that working class, middle class people will feel it more. And cutting the grocery tax actually is one of those ideas. That will help people in you know, the working class and middle class in a way that cutting that top income tax rate just won't do. So when we cut that top tax rate, that makes it more difficult for us to find the resources for other important priorities, including tax relief for working families who need it. Anything else?